Hi everyone, I have a delicious dessert for you. How does pecan pie bread pudding sound? That's what I'm making. What all goes into pecan pie bread pudding? One 16-ounce loaf day-old French bread, and I will cut these up in cubes and let them sit overnight so they get nice and hard. 2.5 cups of milk, 1 cup half and half or whole milk or heavy cream, 4 eggs lightly beaten, 1 cup sugar, 1 tablespoon vanilla, 1/8 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup softened butter, 1.5 cups packed brown sugar, and 1 cup pecans chopped. So let's begin. All right, so I have my loaf of French bread here. I'm just going to take a steak knife because I'm not going to dig out my bread knife for this, and be cutting them into small cubes and then laying them on my cookie sheet so they can dry out. And you want to make sure they're about 1-inch cubes or smaller. You don't want them too big. And this will be the only thing we'll be doing today because he's got to dry for, quite a few hours. I'll let him dry overnight, and then we'll just finish up tomorrow, and we'll have this tomorrow after supper. You want to make sure that your bread pieces are a single layer so they will dry out. All right, so my 16-ounce loaf of French bread is all cut up into small pieces, about 1-inch cubes. I got them all fit on my cookie sheet in a single layer. So I'll let them dry out and I will see you tomorrow to finish this up. First thing you need to do is preheat your oven to 350. So I took my cubed bread that I dried overnight, and it is hard, and I put it in a bowl. So take a large bowl. You want to take 4 eggs lightly beaten. I hadn't beat them yet. I'm going to use my little fisky, which is a combination between a fork and a whisk. I'll put the link down below. I think it's really, really a cool invention. All right, that looks lightly beaten to me. All right, back to our bowl. Dump your eggs in the bowl. The 2.5 cups of milk. The 1 cup of half and half. The 1/8 teaspoon of sugar. 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And the 1 cup of the granulated sugar. And we'll mix that until thoroughly mixed. All right, so I have that all mixed, and we are supposed to put that over the breadcrumbs, but because I want this bowl, I'm going to put the breadcrumbs into the mix. And then just stir that a little bit so everything is all saturated. I'll finish getting that mixed up, but you'll let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes to absorb the moisture. While the bread is soaking up, take another bowl, dump in your 1.5 cups of packed brown sugar and your softened butter, and then mix that with a fork. And you'll want it to get like a coarse sand consistency. So I will work on that and I'll be right back. So it is almost mixed. It's got a little bit of mixing left to go. So it looks a little bit like sand. I'm going to put in the pecans now. And I probably should have chopped them up a little bit more. This was already a bag of chopped pecans, but I didn't. And mix that in as well. So take an 8x8 already greased pan, I'm going to be using a 9x9. It gives you a little bit more room so it's not quite as jam-packed. And add half of your cubes of bread without making a big mess. I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit. And you want to put it on a cookie sheet with a rim, so if it does spill over, it shouldn't get in your oven. And then just spread that out. Then take half of your brown sugar pecan mixture and put half of it on top. Okay, and then spread that out. Then take the remaining of your bread and put it on top of the brown sugar. And then they say to just pack it down. Take the rest of your brown sugar and put it over on top. And I'm just kind of spreading this so it all gets covered a little bit. And put your pecan pie bread pudding in a 350-degree preheated oven for 45 to 55 minutes. The center will be jiggly when it comes out, but it will set when it cools. So after 47 minutes, it is done. It's nice and brown here. You need to let it cool for 25 to 30 minutes, so when you cut into it, it retains its shape. So we'll see you in a little bit. So here is the pecan pie bread pudding. I'll get Dave to do a taste test.
This looks good. It is good. I know I shouldn't eat bread, but it's really good.
Recipe deals for easy meals. Please like, subscribe, and share. This is Cooking with Sherry. Until we meet again.